Hi, my name is Bernie Cooper, and I will be leading a session on Fix It at the Chase's Mill in Mill Hollow. Well, my grandfather, he gave me a clock. This is, well, maybe I was 8 years old, something like that. And it was a little baby bell alarm clock, and said, "Here, you can do whatever you want with it." And I thought, well, it doesn't seem to be working. I couldn't make it work, so I started taking it apart, and there were all these little gears in there and a spring, and found out what was wrong with it. From then on, I did a lot of learning by taking things apart and occasionally putting them back together so that they worked. Sometimes we have an object that we drop on the floor, and maybe it's a piggy bank, for instance, and perhaps there's some little chip that didn't used to be there, and you just had sentimental attachment. Well, you can glue it back together, or you have a chair that you inherited from your grandmother, and it used to be quite comfortable, and but lately the rungs seem to have come loose, so you'd want to put it back together. So one could clean off the old glue and brighten it up a little bit, put some new glue to it, clamp it up, and good as new almost. Lamps are probably one of the things that the cat chews on the wire and it gets frayed, and so you want to put a new plug on it, a new wire on it, and you could do that. The way things are made today, it's often less hassle and less, but you want that thing because it's your favorite, and you don't want it to go to the landfill. So little glue, little epoxy, sometimes will make it right. We use some very basic tools, scraper, maybe a screwdriver, need a few clamps perhaps. It depends on what people bring in. Well, it's kind of like fishing. You put the bait on the hook and you throw it in the water. You have an idea of what you might catch, but you really don't know. Knowing ahead of time what's going to come in, then I can be prepared to have the right glue or the right tool, but you really don't need that much. My wife and I spent 12 years or thereabouts designing and building exhibits for museums. But before that, I built houses, largely self-taught. This house I started on in 1973, and it's not done yet. Everything that you see in the pictures, I probably built. We thought, well, why not try something different? Seeing if I could teach people how to fix things is, first of all, you have to know how it's supposed to work or what it's supposed to look like, how it goes together before you can fix it. And if you're naturally curious, it's probably easier.